Hi guys, today we are going to be making this pumpkin dice bag that I just recently made, and this is what it looks like with nothing inside of it, and this is what it looks like with a little skein of yarn inside. You can put trinkets, you could put D&D dice, anything your heart's desire, but that's what we're going to be making today. Thank you guys for watching. Hi guys, so today we'll be using a 4mm crochet hook. I'm using mine from LottiesLoopsLtd. And then we'll need a darning needle or a yarn needle. I'm using the one that's a little bent on the end. It makes it easier, way easier. And then a pair of scissors. We will also be using 3 different colors of yarn. One for the body, the pumpkin, one for the stem, and one for the drawstring vine. I'm using Big Twist Forest Green, Big Twist Chocolate Brown, and I'm using Red Heart Carrot. I begin with round 1, which is going to be a magic circle. So what I like to do is I twist over, make an X, and then I put my hook through, do a chain basically, but I tighten this one down. We're going to single or slip chain. We're going to chain 1, and then we are going to double crochet into this magic circle 10 times, not including that first chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let me double check. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, I like to pull this little tail. We're going to close the circle all the way. And then we are going to slip stitch into this top double crochet right here, that first double crochet. So we're going to slip stitch. And that is round 1. So row 2, or round 2, is a chain 1, and into this stitch right here, this stitch right here, we're going to be doing a double crochet increase. So 2 double crochets in that same stitch. It's a little tight, and that's okay. Okay, so that was 2 double crochets in that first stitch, and we're going to repeat that for every single stitch around. We're going to be doing 2 double crochets in each stitch around. (18) and 19 and 20. And then we are going to slip stitch into that beginning double crochet. See, there's our chain 1 right there. The next stitch right there, that is our first double crochet. We are going to slip stitch into that one, and that is row 2. It'll be kind of like a cup, and that's okay. It'll flatten out as we go. Let's move on to round 3. Row 3, we are going to chain 1, and then into that first stitch right there, we are going to put 1 double crochet. In the next stitch, we are going to put a double crochet increase. So 2 double crochet in that 1 stitch. And we're going to be repeating that all the way around. So 1 double crochet increase, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet increase, all the way around. You should have 30 stitches at the end. So 1 double crochet, double crochet increase, and so on and so forth. I'll meet you back around for row 4. So coming back around on my last 3 stitches, just going to finish this out. And you should always end on an increase with this pattern, with these rounds, of course. Our last increase. And then we're going to find the top of our double crochet from the first part. There's our chain 1, and then the next stitch up is our double crochet. We are going to slip stitch, and that is row 3. So row 4, we are going to start off with a chain 1, and in that stitch right there, we're going to do 1 double crochet. In the next stitch, we are going to do 1 double crochet. And in the third stitch, we're going to do a double crochet increase. I'm going to do that again. We're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then an increase in the third stitch. And we will repeat that all the way around, and you should have 40 stitches. On all the way around, and I'm here at my last 4 stitches, and I'm going to do an increase, 2 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches, and then it should end on an increase, and there should be 40 stitches all the way around. Okay, so we're going to find that chain 1. We're going to go up 1 into that first double crochet. And we're going to slip stitch, and that is row 4. At this point, I'm going to stop for a moment. And what I like to do is I like to sew in the end. That way I don't have to inside out my pumpkin. So we are just going to, this is how I like to do it. I like to go in these little stitches here. Through. I like to make a knot here, pull tight so it's secure, and we want to go underneath, and then underneath the loops of the first row there. It's kind of hard, and then I'm just going to pull through, and then I'm going to cut my tail. I like to cut it a little short, that way it doesn't show up that much. Okay, just okay, I'm gonna flip it back around. Okay, so now we are going to move on to row 5. Okay, row 5, we are going to chain 1, and then it's going to be a little tricky, but this stitch right here, we are going to front post double crochet. So we're going to go back and behind, and out the other side, and then we are going to double crochet basically around it. So there's 1 front post double crochet. In this next stitch right here, we are going to do 1 double crochet. In the next stitch, we are going to do a double crochet increase. In the next stitch, we are going to do 1 double crochet. And then you can see the increase from the previous row. We are going to put our next front post double crochet on that second double crochet. So we're going to front post double crochet, and then we're going to continue that all the way around. So I'll do it one more time. So we're going to do 1 double crochet, a double crochet increase, and another double crochet, and then we are going to front post double crochet in the next stitch, And we're going to repeat that for the rest of the round. I just did my last double crochet front post, and then the last 4 stitches is going to be different from the rest of the row. We're just going to do 1 double crochet in the last 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we are going to find, it's going to be a little tricky, there's our chain 1, and then if you follow this up, we're going to like slip stitch into that stitch right there. So this one right here. So we are going to slip stitch into that stitch. And that was row 5. You should have 50 stitches around, and it's starting to make this cool rigid effect. I'll meet you back around for row 6. So row 5 was our last increase round. We are on row 6, and row 6 to row 11 is the same repeat, and I'll show you that in a second. So that's 6 rows total for the pumpkin body. So we are going to start off with a chain 1, and then just like the row before, we are going to front post double crochet in that next stitch. And in the next 4 stitches, we are going to do 1 double crochet. And 4. And then we are going to do another front post double crochet on that previous one. And we are going to underneath and do our double crochet. So it's starting to line up with the ridges from before. And I'll do that one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet onto that previous one. And we are going to be repeating that for the next, or for the remainder of the round, and then for the next 5 rows after this one, so 6 rows total, we are going to just repeat that whole round. Okay, so I have finished the 6 rounds repeat of row 6 through 11, but row 6 is the repeat row. And I'll count that really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this row right here should be row 11, and you should still have 40 stitches all the way around. This is what it looks like. Get a booger. So we are going to do row 12. We are going to start off with a chain 1. We are going to front post double crochet into this first one from the previous row. And then we are going to double crochet in the next stitch. And then we are going to decrease these next 2 stitches. We're going to do a double crochet decrease. So we're going to go in, pull up, pull through 2, yarn over, go in, pull through 2, and then pull through the last 2. That is a double crochet decrease. And then the next stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet, and then we are going to front post double crochet into the previous row. So we're going to do that again. We're going to double crochet in the next stitch. We are going to double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches, double crochet in the next stitch, and front post double crochet in the next stitch. So we're going to repeat that for row 12, and I'll meet you back around. Okay, so row 13 and row 14 are the same. They're a repeat row for 2 rows. All we're going to be doing is half double crocheting into each stitch around. You should have 40 stitches because the last row had 40 stitches. So we're going to half double crochet into each stitch around. I'll do a couple for you here. And we are not front post double crocheting anymore with the half double crochet. We're just going into the top of that stitch there where the front post double crochet is. We're just going to go into it, and we're going to continue that all the way around. It should start tightening up towards the top here. It'll start tightening up because we're using a smaller stitch. So we're going to do that for 2 rounds, row 13 and 14. So I'm on my last 3 stitches for the half double crochet for rows 13 and 14. I'm going to finish this up a little. And then I am going to cut my yarn here, and we are going to switch to the brown color. So I like to tuck my tail in this next stitch over here just to make it a little bit more tidy looking. And I'll tuck that inside for now. So now we are going to switch over to the brown color. And this is the first stitch right here, the one I tucked the little tail into here. So I'm going to make a slip knot really quick. And then I am going to pull the slip knot through, tighten it down a little bit. Let's see if I can show you guys here. And we're going to pull that through, and then we're going to anchor the new color. And I like to tuck the tail in there. We'll go back and sew in the ends. But for now, we are going to start row 15 through 18. So 4 rows total of the brown, and we're just going to do the same as we did the last 2 rounds, and it's just going to be 4 rows of half double crochet in each stitch around, and there'll be 40 stitches in each round, in each row. So I'm going to start with a half double and just work my way around. I'll meet you guys back after I'm done with row 18. Done with the 4 rows of brown, so row 15 through 18, and I am going to cut the brown, and we're going to sew in the ends, and then I'll come back and we can do the drawstring. It should look like almost like a basketball, but a cute little pouch. Set this aside. And we are going to grab our green color, and we are going to chain 90. We're going to make a slip knot, and it doesn't matter how long the tail is. We're going to cut that off later. So we're going to chain 90 in the green, and I'll meet you guys back when I've chained my 90. Okay, so I've done my 90 chains, and we're going to start working the twirly little vine part at the end. So we are going to, in the second stitch from the hook, this one right here, we are going to do 3 double crochets into that hook, or stitch, excuse me. So we're going to do 3 double crochets into that one little loop there, that one stitch. Okay, so that's our first little cluster, as we call them. And then we are going to do the same thing in the next 9 chains. So we're going to do 10 total of them. But in the next 9 chains, you're going to do 3 double crochet in each one of those 9 chains. So I'll meet you back when I've got mine finished. So now I've finished the 10 3 double crochet in one stitch. So there's 10 of these 3 double crochet like clusters, and in the next 5 chains we're going to do 2 half double crochet in each stitch. So we're going to do 2 half double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I should mention it is supposed to curl and be cute little curly Q like this, like really tight towards the bottom, and then once we get working towards the top it'll open up just a little bit. So I'm done with those 5, and in the next stitch we are going to do 1 single crochet and then 1 slip stitch in the next stitch. And then we cut our yarn like so, and I'll meet you to do the weaving in just a moment. Okay, so I've finished that part and I've sewed in my end there. So we've got this long chain left that will go in the top bit weaved into the pumpkin here, and this ends up being the drawstring. So what we're going to do is we're going to find where the seam is at, where we connect the rows and whatnot. We're going to find the seam. We're going to try to find the middle. Like, it doesn't have to be precise, and this also doesn't have to be precise, but I either go through every 2 to 3 stitches on this 3rd row down. So I'm going to try to find a middle stitch in this 3rd row, and I'm going to pull in from the back side, and we're going to take the chain part and we're going to pull that through the back side and leave the little curly Q on the outside like so. It's really cute, and it curls up. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to do every 2 stitches here. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to insert my hook, grab the chain from the back, and pull through. And I'm going to do that every 2 stitches all the way around until we meet back around this area. It's either going to be 2 stitches or 3 stitches. I finished weaving in through the top bit of pouch. We're going to work on the other curly Q here. You're going to repeat this on the other side. So what you're going to do is on the other side of the chain, we are going to anchor and then do this whole thing on the other side, and I will meet you back. Alright, and that is the vine finished. So what we can do now is we can close up our little pumpkin here. It will look a little frumpy if there's nothing in here, and that's okay. Not all pumpkins are perfect, but we can sit here and we can tie our little ties here. You can also add like leaves and stuff. I think that would be so cute for Halloween. Little jack-o'-lantern faces here. I think that would be so cute. But here is my little dice bag, little pouch, little cute little pumpkin bag. Thank you guys for watching.